finish to the game.
Cheers. Yeah, I was just there in the right area. I was just there in the right area, and happily it fell for me. And yeah, like, look at this. What else do you expect with these fans? It just kept us going, and it's just amazing to be here. So
the pressure was building. You kept trying. Did you think it was going to be one of those nights where you just didn't make it?
To be fair, like, within our DNA, we just keep going, and we've shown that today through the fans. They've helped us so much, and I want to say a big thank you to them, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. But we stuck to the game plan, like you said. We kept going, kept pushing, and finally we did get the goal, and the well-deserved 3 points.
A little bit more of an edge in the celebrations tonight because of the way that Newcastle were trying to slow down the game, break things up.
Yeah, that's what they were doing today, and it was a bit frustrating at times to have players going down. But let's not talk about them. Let's talk about us and how good we were today, and how well we stuck to the game plan, which is to keep going, playing our way, and we got the deserved win.
It's essential after that 9-0 at the weekend to carry on that momentum.
Yeah, hopefully we can build on this. We definitely built on the result the other day, and yeah, many more to come hopefully, and we just need to keep going, keep working, and then more wins will come.
That all sounds very nice, but when you get back into that dressing room, it's going to be...
Arsenal have made it 5 wins out of 5, beating Aston Villa. Jesus and Martinelli with the goals there. A huge 6-0 win for Manchester City. Erling Haaland with a hat-trick in that one. That's now 9 Premier League goals in 5 games for him. That's more than any player in Premier League history has scored in their first 5 games. 2 for Alvarez and 1 for Cancelo in that one. And it finished 1-1 between West Ham and Tottenham. Tomorrow, Leicester City take on Manchester United. That's live on BT Sport 1. So Arsenal stay top. Their 100% start intact. It is 5 wins from 5. Manchester City up in second. For Liverpool, they're in 5th now, but 7 behind Arsenal and 5 points now behind Manchester City. And down at the bottom, Newcastle in 11th place. 6 points from their opening 5 games. Aston Villa, another defeat for them tonight, down in 19th place. And Leicester City in action tomorrow, sit bottom. So we go alongside me. These games don't disappoint between these two, do they, Steve? There's been so many classics over the years.
There has, and in a different way. Tonight was the same. Very, very nervy start by Liverpool. I thought Newcastle were excellent in their plan of how to play. It almost paid off, didn't it? Liverpool were better in the second half, made chances, had possession. But I thought the back line of Newcastle were excellent today, and they just got undone by a little bit of fortune, really. You know, Liverpool kept it alive at the end, and it fell to Fabio Carvalho, who of course finished it really, really well. But they were quite dominant at Newcastle set piece wise, so it was Liverpool got away with one today.
You can see the relief from Jurgen Klopp at the end, the way he celebrated that goal. It really looked like Newcastle were going to stay unbeaten. Yeah,
and as Maka said earlier, that it would have been a very different kind of story and picture if they hadn't won this game. But they win the first contact and they just keep it alive. Mo Salah at the back post, bit of fortune, and it's a real clinical finish in the end. But Lascelles, who goes for the first challenge with Gomez, as he gets on his feet here, you see him limping. He's got cramp. And I just wonder, maybe who else could have gone? Wood maybe was good in the air to go for that first contact. Where is he? Where's Byrne? But it's difficult in the midst of the game and stuff to sort that out. You need to communicate and stuff, but with hindsight it's very easy. But that man there, I think on the touchline, it was as good a game on the touchline as it was on the pitch, because both benches were going at each other, and so you saw the relief and the little smile from Klopp at the end was a nice touch from him. Yeah,
he was a frustrated figure on the touchline in that first half. It felt like Newcastle were getting under his skin, and you could see the satisfaction he took at the end there, Steve. Yeah,
I think that's what it was. He mentioned it before the game, didn't he, when he was with our interview, and Shea mentioned it. He knew that they would try and break up play. He knew that they would go down at every opportunity. He knew that they were trying to time waste, which is acceptable. It's up to the referee to deal with that. I've got no problem with it. But you could see he was getting very frustrated with it. He was getting very frustrated with their bench. So we don't know what was going on between their bench. Maybe Des will have a better idea. But there was certainly a lot of to and fro from them. And as you said, the right smile at the end when they got the winner says it all. He was very relieved, wasn't he, at the end?
Absolutely, and it was Firmino got them back into the game, Shay, in the second half. As Steve said, they were much improved, weren't they, after half time?
They were improved, they were better. I mean, the goal was brilliant. It's a brilliant goal from Firmino, no doubt about that. But I just go from a Newcastle point of view, they'll go away feeling deflated, unlucky, because I felt that a draw would have been enough, or deserved at least. But this is a brilliant goal from Firmino. It makes it look so simple in the end. Great play from Salah, he just puts a weight of the pass. And he makes it look so easy. It's not an easy finish. Look, some people would slash at it, try and hit it too hard. He literally just strokes it into the far corner and beats Nick Pope. I mean, Nick had a great game tonight as well.
They didn't do that often enough, Liverpool, tonight. Right through the lines, goalkeeper Fabinho, Elliott, Salah, and it was a goal. They didn't do that enough. They did it a lot of times against Bournemouth, or Bournemouth allowed them to do it.
Yeah.
Newcastle didn't do it. And the one time they switched off tonight, Newcastle, the two forwards, they got played through them. That was it. It was back at the net time.
How disappointed will Newcastle be, Rio, with the way Liverpool cut through them for that?
Yeah, they will, and I think it's disappointing for them. But you have to give credit to Newcastle. I think they set up perfectly well with Eddie Howe and the way that they were. Very hard to play through. And you look at the clips and you think, wow, one opportunity to do it and you get punished. And they were so slick, they were so clean with it. And when you get into those areas with Mo Salah and Firmino, who are clinical and decisive, you get punished.
Talk us through it then. What stood out for you?
Well, the main thing for me was the way that they allowed them to get set. I think at first these three players here were very good in the first half in stopping the ball, getting through those lines. But here the ball gets played into Fabinho, and immediately he turns and faces the game. And this wasn't on earlier in the game at other points in the first half. That space and the ability to play the ball through there wasn't on. Maka mentioned it, straight balls. It becomes available, they take it, and at that point, once that happens, you see these guys come alive. They start making moves and they start spreading and stretching the Newcastle back line. And Harvey Elliott, I thought, was exceptional tonight at times, plays the ball through, and then Liverpool never disappoint in this area. They get bodies forward, and it's a great ball. The vision here from Salah with the bodies in a way to see that pass there, and the way he finishes this, it was almost like slow-mo in real time because it was so calm and cool under that pressure with that amount of bodies around him to do that, as you said, really calm and cool and a decisive finish.
Yeah, cool finish. And you've got Nunez coming back from suspension, haven't you, for the derby at the weekend. Is that a big call for Klopp? What do you do?
I don't think he'll play. I don't, particularly in a derby match. And
he sticks with Firmino.
Yeah, I'd say so at the moment. I think bodies are getting back in. Matip was on the bench, wasn't he? Curtis Jones was on. He said Diogo Jota's going to play, or is going to start training, which is good because they are still lacking that little bit of quality. Yes, they've got youngsters on, inexperience on, who will try. And Carvalho was brilliant yet again today. Harvey Elliott, excellent. But I think once they get a little bit more experience up top with Jota, with Nunez, there'll be a different proposition Liverpool going forward particularly.
They keep going behind in games. They've earned 25 points from losing positions since the start of last season. Does that kind of sum up Klopp's mentality monsters?
Yeah, and I think he'll look at it like that, but also I think he'll behind closed doors be saying, listen, you better sort this out. And he'll be looking at ways to make sure they start games. We spoke to him before the game and he mentioned about almost taking the warm-up into the first part of the game and getting hurt and getting punished for it. Now, they've had the ability and they've had fortune at times to get through that, but there's going to come a time where it's not going to work and they're going to lose games because of it. So they've got to iron that out and sort it out very quickly because they're already points behind. 7 points, I think, behind Arsenal and 5 points behind City.
Now,
so they can't afford to keep doing that. And that takes a lot out of you as well, physically and mentally. So sometimes you want some easy games where you're beating teams, but like City are beating teams at the moment. They become easy games chalked off. Not much in terms of physical kind of taken out of you in terms of durability. But these are a great team. They got, like you say, mentally they're fantastic. But Newcastle, if you flip to them, Eddie Howe will be devastated. But what can he say? What does he say to them?
Well, let's find out, shall we, and see just how gutted Eddie Howe is because he's with Des.
Dramatic finish, Eddie. A heartbreaker for you, I suppose.
Yeah, that's painful. That is painful. Really proud of the players, proud of everybody really, the commitment given to the game, the execution of the game plan. But yeah, that's very painful.
You asked the players to play without fear. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I think for long spells of the game, yes. I think when you're in the lead here, naturally it becomes a different game. We had to withstand pressure. We had to defend very, very well, and we did for big periods. I don't really remember them having too many clear-cut chances. Yes, they had pressure, they had long shots, but I thought we defended really well. The last goal's a heartbreaker, really, for us.
Yeah, I mean, you had done so well. Alexander Isak had made a fantastic debut. He looked really, really sharp.
Yeah, it looked really good. We didn't anticipate him playing the whole game. He hadn't done a huge amount of training since he's joined us. I think he picked up a bit of a knock, a dead leg during the game as well. So we wanted to protect him, but yeah, he looks a special player.
Yeah, it's a great entrance. I mean, and also the reshuffle at the back. I mean, he stood up to Liverpool pretty well.
I did really well. I thought everybody did well. All the changes, the players came in. Yeah, can't fault anybody. It was a great effort.
You were frustrating Liverpool, obviously. They're accusing you of time wasting and players going down with cramp. That added an edge to this.
Yeah, it's a Premier League game. There's so much at stake. We had players that were fatigued. We had one day's less recovery than Liverpool. We've given everything to every game that we've had so far, so there was no gamesmanship from our perspective. I think it was just tired bodies. Obviously, second half we wanted to slow the game down. They wanted to quicken it up. So natural frustrations against two polar opposite needs, really.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Yeah, Eddie Howe saying it was painful. His side so close to taking a point off Manchester City and Liverpool tonight. It's hard to think about it now, but plenty of positives for them to take out of that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give Eddie great credit. I think his game plan was perfect tonight. You know, obviously they've conceded in the last kick of the game. But you know, Nick Pope made a couple of saves, but not they weren't cut open. They were really solid, really hard to beat. And you think of the players missing tonight: two centre halves, Guimaraes in midfield, Wilson up top, say Maximum. You know, there's got a lot of players missing tonight, so they'll take a lot of credit from that. But at the same time, you're getting on that bus back up to Newcastle tonight, and the fans and the management and the players, you're going to be low, because taking a point away from here would have been a brilliant result for them going into Saturday, you know, against Crystal Palace. So I feel for Eddie and his staff, but you know, I think they put a real good game plan today and are just unlucky at the death.
It is going to feel like a long journey later on, I'm sure. Eddie Howe absolutely deflated, but Jurgen Klopp elated here at Anfield. A late winner for his side, a late winner.